Republicans are set to unveil their plan to repeal and replace Obamacare this week. Congressional leaders working with the White House over the weekend to finalize the details. But GOP unity on the bill is anything but solid. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul already calling it, quote, Obamacare light. But when asked if he's worried about some of the sticky issues like the refundable tax credit and the Medicaid expansion rollback, House Speaker Paul Ryan said this.
I'm not really worried at all because we're doing this hand in glove with President Trump, with Tom Price, HHS Secretary, with our counterparts in the Senate. We're all working off the same piece of paper, the same legislation. This is what we have long stood on as conservatives. It is the plan that we ran on in all of 2016 that we said if we get the chance of having a Republican president, a Republican House, and a Republican Senate, we're going to repeal and replace Obamacare, and this is what we're going to replace it with. Well, guess what? We're keeping that promise.
All right, Speaker Ryan says he's not worried at all. Congressman, are you? Does anything concern you at this point?
Well, look, the status quo, Obamacare as we know it now, is in a death spiral, and people need relief. It is absolutely failing and coming apart at the seams.
Does this solve the problem?
It does. And you know what I like about this? You don't have us coming in saying everybody has to be right here on this. I mean, we all campaigned on it. We do have to ultimately produce a product, and it may not have 100% of what I want in it, but I guarantee it's going to be so much better than what we currently have. There's going to be a process. Unlike what Nancy Pelosi did where she just shoved it down the pike, is what's going to happen is they're going to offer it. It'll go to the committee. There'll be a markup. That may go for days. I don't know how long it's going to last. People will be able to offer amendments, and we're going to have that vigorous debate, and there will be Republicans that disagree. That's the beautiful thing about how this process is supposed to work. So we're doing it the way it's supposed to be done.
So how do you account for Senator Rand Paul, who says that it's absolutely not being done the way it's supposed to be done? He's in the Senate, of course, not the House, but he went to House Room 157 and couldn't see the bill, but it was leaked, according to him, to the media, and so he got some eyes on it. What do you say to him?
Well, look, he's offered a plan that I really
the
like.
Obamacare replacement plan.
Really,
222.
I do like it. There's a lot to like about his plan, but focus on the Senate because it's hard to
That's
argue.
What you would say to him?
Yeah, focus on the Senate. We're going to go first. We're going to go through and do it in the House, and he can weigh in with his opinion. It's always welcome. But look, we're at this week is when you actually get to see it, and we'll all get to poke at it and read it and debate it and talk about it, and hopefully get through it.
But how do you square that circle if you've got a big disagreement about the individual mandate, the Cadillac tax, and just renaming it something else, pre-existing conditions, and also keeping people on their parents' plan until they're 26 years old, until they're well into their third decade of life?
But that's actually per military. That's exactly how it was as a military dependent. So that actually
think about
is mirroring that.
One of the concepts you'll hear is what we call the healthcare backpack. Okay, put into the backpack what you want, what you need, and be able to take it where you're going to go and where you need to.
There's too much in the backpack already, though. It's full of Obamacare rocks, and I worry that
that's why you get to choose what you want to put.
I want you to get in on this.
Yes.
No, I actually read this morning by Chris Jacobs, and he said this better than I could. What's more that the framework is described looks for all intents and purposes like a legislative orphan, appealing to no one, neither moderates nor conservatives within the Republican Party. That's the problem, I think, going forward, is if you're not pleasing one side or the other, you're going to have a political dogfight. And if you think Rand Paul's going to give this up, you weren't following him on Twitter last week.
He's not, because what he says will happen in the next week or so is that you can all agree on repeal. It's the replacement part that hasn't come. And so we've already gone beyond one enrollment period. My question to him last night was, well, what do you do with that money that people have already paid in as their mandate fee? Does the IRS give a credit?
With the congressman on the couch, last word to you, will the GOP get this done?
Yes, we have to. That's what we were elected to do. It's what we campaigned on, and we got to deliver. Is it going to be better than what's out there now? Absolutely, it's going to be better than what we have now. Absolutely.
Well, some pro-Trump rallies getting physical this weekend after counter-protesters clashed with the president's supporters. Is this the new normal, or can the president bridge the political divide?
Gosh.